質問っていうか、
クエスチョン。
Okay.
日本の彼がそのなんていうの、他者が自分をジャッジしてるっていうふうに見えてるけど、それは自分が自分を裁いてるからっていうのがよくわかるんだけど、私もそういうところがあって、だけどその自分が自分を愛していれば、そんなふうになんか見えない、例えばジュリアみたいに。だけどそのやっぱりどうしても見えちゃうっていうのだから、のりこさんが勉強会で言ってたみたいに、私が私を愛するっていうそのマインドトレーニングをしていけば、それはなんていうかな、チェンジしていくんですかね。
Did you understand?
No.
No. Masako said, there, その like なんだっけ、Daniel felt to be judged always, but actually he was judging himself, and then he felt to attack or something, and Masako said it's similar than Masako also. Masako also feels similar, but if Masako do something like that lady, Holy Spirit girl, そうすると、
そのつまり私ももちろん自分のこと愛し、なんていうの、その誰かの愛したいけど、だから
なんかソリューション、Masako's question is it the solution to love myself? Is it solution? なんていうのかな、
自分を愛する
out of feeling guilty or be judged feeling.
Well, I think it's remembering that we're only ever examining our own thoughts. So, like when we're in these situations, especially when we come together, we're coming together to heal our mind. And something very, very important is we're only ever like examining our own thoughts. We think it's people. We think others are doing that to us. And the miracle is like, wow, I believe this. These are my beliefs. And so everything is a mirror. It's mirroring so that you can forgive those thoughts, let them go. And that's what's loving to yourself. It's like no one's doing anything to you at all. For real. I mean, like it doesn't feel that way. But that's the miracle. It's like a change in perception. It's like to really look at the thoughts and say, you know what, I'm not going to believe this anymore about myself. That's what's loving. You know, loving yourself is saying, I'm letting go of these thoughts and know that I'm worthy.
だから、結局他者が何か自分にやってるんじゃなくて、自分の自己像がそのまま他者が私に何か言ってるように見えてしまう。だからそれについてもう自分はこれが事実なんだっていうふうに受け止めるのをもうやめたいんだっていう、なんていうの、中にあるものが鏡になって映し出されてるから、中にあるままじゃあ決断できないから、中にあるものが映し出されてなんか裁かれてるように見える。でそれを見て、もうこれは自分は欲しくない、必要ないっていうふうに望むことそのものが自分を愛することと同じなんだっていう。だからジャッジを手放すイコールちょっと愛だけが残る。なんかジャッジされる、ジャッジするっていうのは実在しないもので、じゃあ何が実在してるかって、ジャッジを手放すと愛だけが残ってるから、そういうことなんだよねみたいな話だと思うけど、だからまず自分を裁いたまま、裁かれてると思ったまま愛そうとしても無理なので、こう投影されてジャッジされてる。
That's why our relationships are holy.
でそれでもう望まない、これが事実だっていうことをもう自分は望まないってどこか手放すと、気がついたらもう愛に従ってるんだよ。手放す。望むものと望まないものを明確にして、望まないものを手放すと、気がついたら追いかけてるんだよ。
It's facing it. It's when we come together, like when I was living in community, like even with David, you know, one of my functions was taking care of David. And I remember in the early days, I was terrified. You know, I'd have to walk up, you know, with his shake into his room and all this doubt and unworthiness and, you know, and just all this fear. And I really saw that it was about my relationship with the Holy Spirit, that the Holy Spirit was bringing him for me, not personally, but to heal my mind. It was bringing tons of unconscious thoughts and beliefs to the surface. And then I would say to the Holy Spirit, okay, I'm going to give this thought to you. Do you take this? I'm willing to be wrong about my fear. I'm willing to be wrong about my unworthiness. So my relationship, like Jesus says in the Course, the whole, this experience now is only to heal our mind. So everything that brings us discomfort is just this call for us to heal. There's nothing wrong. It means we're healing. We have to face those thoughts and beliefs. And you know what ended up happening? And I want to stay so humble. With me and David, it went away completely. Because I kept facing it over and over. You know, and with every one of my relationships, like all my relationships are for me to remember the truth. You know, the Christ. So it's like I realized that was always my own thoughts. It was never anyone else thinking anything about me.
じゃあ at the end you felt you are not to be judged by David.
Not at all. That it was
Because-
me. Me judging myself.
うん
I had to look at my own self-judgments. He was just bringing them up, that strong force. That, you know what, I probably would have never seen with anyone else but David. He was powerful enough to bring up this dark part of myself.
あーなるほど
The dark beliefs. And that was a miracle.
あーそうね yeah
Till I could see that actually, until I didn't believe it anymore. It was like then it went away. And then I felt equal with him. It wasn't really him.
yeah
It was with my mind, with him.
that's why you can know people pleasing.
Yes,
Ne?
exactly.
You don't need people pleasing.
No, I don't need to be,
anymore.
no. You realize it was always your own mind. It was you were the problem. But then that's a real blessing, because if the problem's not out there and the problem's in my own mind, I can fix it.
Yes, yes. That's why.
That's
You can
that that's why I can fix it, because it's my beliefs. It's not anybody else's. So it's like, oh, it's just showing me what I still believe. And that's the miracle. Then I have to say, okay, I do believe that, Holy Spirit, I see it. But I'm willing that maybe I could be wrong. This man here, the problem was he kept following it. He never questioned it. Oh no, woe is me. You know, poo, poo, poo. All the time. Never questioned it. Until he was confronted at the end there, looking at his own judgment. Are you going to choose heaven or hell? And he realized, oh, I did this. It's me, and I can choose again. Does that make sense? It's like, and so we're constantly being given that opportunity to just completely be wrong. And that's waking up to the Christ. The Christ mind. We didn't do anything wrong. The problem is we're just believing it. We just think we did. It's not true. And the miracle is it because you know what the miracle is? It goes away. The more that you're willing to question, instead of just staying on the loop, always, the same thing. No, pay attention to how you feel. It's the right use of judgment. Discomfort is aroused only for the need for healing. Jesus says that in A Course in Miracles. That's right from the Course. When I feel discomfort, pay attention. That means that there's a belief that's being triggered.
Mm.
And that doesn't mean, for most of us, that's why people drink,
Ah.
do all kinds of drugs.
Mm.
They don't want to face that.
Mm.
But when you face it and you really look at it and you say, I'm going to face this discomfort and I'm going to question it. And then something happens.
Mm.
You start to awaken.
Mm.
We're removing the blocks to the awareness of love's presence. That's what it is.
Mm.
And so the love is who we are. So the closer that we come to each other, these obstacles are going to come to the surface. You can't skip it. And that's why we have to feel safe. Am I making sense? This is really good stuff. This is what, this is why we're together. We're together to heal our minds.
Yeah. Mm.
And these beliefs are going to come out.
Mm. Yeah.
We don't have to pretend. We don't want to pretend. We want an authentic experience of happiness. And the closer that we come to each other, that's the intimacy. And the ego is terrified of that because it is being it's being threatened. It can feel it, but not who you are. And that's why it's like, that's what living in community is about. That's what coming together is about. It's because of happiness. We want to be happy, not because we want another concept. It's not about another concept. It's about being happy. And it's a gift. Can you understand me, Masako?
まずさっき
This is good stuff.
あれですよね
This is the meat of A Course in Miracles. This is the practice of forgiveness.
裁かれてるとかまたはなんか批判されたとかそういう何か起きたトリガーが起きた時にはだからここには私の信念がただ映し出されてるだけだからもうそれは私はもういらない私は裁かれるべきものとか無価値なものとかそういう信念はもういらないって言って手放すっていうのがソリューションってことですよね。
歩んでやっと分かるんだけど、なんていうのかな、だから隠されてるから自分をさばいてる状態が常に隠されてるから癒しようがないんだよね。でも隠されてる自己像が人間関係、人と関わることでこういうコミュニティで人と関わることによって自己像がうって上がってくるから、それをリサが言ってたのがデイビッドの面倒を見るっていうのが彼女のその初期の頃のファンクションで、もう毎朝こう震えながらデイビッドの部屋に
I live with them every day.
関わり続けるので、でもってなってるから、
Yeah, and I was like,
目的がほら
Dude,
彼を
Jesus.
一番にするのが目的でリサも
I really
関わってる
was.
から、もう日常的にっていうのが上がり続けて、でこれは不快感、
but I was facing it.
不快感を
I was looking at my unworthiness and my doubt, all the time. But it went away.
散らしてたけど
I would just keep going towards David. Listen, I would just keep going towards him. I would just keep walking you go towards it, not away from it. And then it dissolves. I swear it's what I did.
Yeah, I know.
And then it dissolves. It's a miracle.
メルト
What?
disappeared
Yeah, it disappeared. Like, you just keep facing it.
yes yes
I would keep facing it every day.
don't run away
No, don't run away.
just for
Just keep
そ
going.
うだね
Just keep going and facing
不
it.
快感から逃げるのではなく不
And
快
then it
感に立ち向
disappears.
かっていくことで消えていく
It's because you're not avoiding anything. You're facing it. Like when I would walk up the steps to David's room, I'd be like,
大変挙動不審なんだ
really? I'd be like, okay, there you go.
すごい
But I would be present. I'd be very present with what I was feeling, and I would be looking at it and saying authentic and just be like, oh, I have a lot of fear and unworthiness. I think, I hope I made the shake right, or I hope, I don't disturb him. Just all my unworthiness. It's not, that's why they were saying it's not about what they were doing. It's like, what's the purpose? What's the purpose of everything that we're doing? The purpose is to remember ourself. Remember our true self. And that other self, the one that's scared and fearful, it's like we have to be willing to say, I want to question that. That's not who I am. We're not that fear. We're not that doubt. We're not that unworthiness. It's just something that, the separate self believes when you think you're separate. You feel like you're guilty. It's a guilty, separated self. So there's all this guilt and unworthiness that comes up. Yeah, it's really, and that's what's so important about us continuing to connect. We're facing it. That's why we're facing the discomfort. Every time we come together, you feel a little bit safer. You see that it's just in your own mind. It's your own mind that has these conflicts. And we're going to project onto each other. I lived in community 20 years. I mean, really, day in and day out with people. And that's what we do. We project, but when it's used in the Holy Spirit, we use that projection to say, okay, I'm going to take it back into my own mind. I'm going to see that nothing outside of me, it's like, these are my thoughts. That's why I'm not feeling happy. No one can upset me, actually. There's no one can cause me pain. It's impossible. We're not victims. We're not victims. We cannot be unfairly treated. It's a trick. It's like this journey is about waking up and taking full responsibility for our state of mind and the way that we feel. And that's beautiful. That's a gift from God that we can do that. Because, I used to be, years ago, extremely depressed. I had chronic depression, really bad. I was severely depressed. And I was going to therapists. I was going all the time. All the time I was in severe, severe depression. No one ever told me that they were always focusing on all the problems outside of me. All of my problems. And I had a lot of problems outside of me. But it never got fixed. This worked. It's like, oh my God, are you kidding me? It worked. It's like, oh my God, it was me all along. I'm creating the nightmare.
I am the one. 俺だった。俺が当事者だった。俺が黒幕だった。
And that's why it does take discipline. And being around mighty companions that share that purpose is so important. Because really, it's not anything spiritual. It's really about us being happy. Waking up, to say we want. All of us came together this morning and we shared our purpose. We want to remember our true identity. And that's why we practically use this, use this retreat to practically allow those thoughts and beliefs to come up so that they can gently be removed. And we've invited the Holy Spirit in. We don't need to keep inviting the Holy Spirit in. Once and done. It is the Holy Spirit. That's why I said the prayer in the beginning. The Holy Spirit is the healer. All we have to do is be willing to question. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm not happy, maybe I'm wrong. What if I'm wrong about all of it? And we are. That's all that the Holy Spirit needs.